Hey guys, what's going on? This is Shadow, and today I'm going to be doing a Harpie Lady deck test hands and combo video for you guys. It's been a while since the last time I did one of these. It's been a few months, so I did change a few things around in this deck and made it a little bit more updated. It is still a pure Harpie Lady deck. Yes, you can combine it with Tri-Brigades to make a Harpie Lady Tri-Brigade deck if you so choose. I'm going to just strictly go for the pure Harpie Lady just because I like the playing style a little bit more, but if you want to go for a Tri-Brigade, there's a lot of videos that are based off of that. But if you're interested in just the pure Harpie Lady build, then please make sure you stay tuned for this really good test hands and combo video. And thank God, finally, after so long, Legendary Duelist Season 2 has released Harpie Perfumer as a reprint. So, I had to immediately pick 3 of those up just because it was so hard to get those. It's not as expensive as Tribute Lonnie, still waiting on that, but I'm so excited now that I finally got all 3 of those, so I can actually finally finish this deck and complete it. So, alrighty, without any further ado, let's go ahead and get straight on into it, guys. But before we do that, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. And if you haven't clicked that notification bell, and that way you're always in the loop for any of my test hands, combos, unboxings, and deck profiles. And make sure you please comment on the section below. I always love reading them, guys. Alright, so without any further ado, let's go ahead and get straight on into it. So this is going to be the first hand that I get. And you see you do that have the Thunderbird in there. So that means that you just won't be able to get the infinite loop from that, which is perfectly fine in my opinion. So we're going to go with normal summon Harpie Chandler in attack position, and then you're going to activate its effect by discarding Harpie's Pet Dragon, which will then allow you to search for a Harpie monster. Now, I'm going to search for Harpie Perfumer, the new one, and Harpie Perfumer, when it is special, normal, or special summoned, it allows you to get a Harpie spell or trap card from your deck and add it to your hand. Now that we've done that, I can go ahead and actually activate both of my Elegant Egotist. And then when you activate both of those, you can get 2 Harpie Ladies from your deck. So 1, and then 2. So now you have 4 monsters on the field. Now from here, there's a few things that you can play. So I'm going to show you, there's a few things that you can actually do with this hand. If you want, you can go ahead and you can play Harpie's Hunting Ground, like as the last thing that you do for the field spell. Or you can do this. The first thing is requires 3 monsters, so you can just go 1, 2, and then we'll say 3, and then link them together for Bird of Sovereign. Then end your turn and either A, get Barrier Statue of the Stormwinds, which will increase its attack by 300, but that's fine because you're going based off its defense. So that would lock your opponent out from special summoning anything but wind monsters. So the only thing you would have to worry about is virtual world monsters, because the majority of those tend to be wind. But you could lock your opponent out from special summoning. Now, that doesn't mean that they can't attack it. You can still get it. You can still have Barrier Statue get attacked. So if you wanted to do that at the end phase instead of Barrier Statue, to set yourself up a little bit more, you could special summon Apex Avian and actually make it a 3,000 attack. And it also would have the bounce back effect. Even if it would just be for 1, if your opponent would activate an effect, you can bounce Apex Avian back from your hand and at least negate it. Alright? So there was that move. And then I'm going to show you another move that you can do with this hand. So we're going to put Harpie, that, and then we're going to put these 4 back. Okay. Then the next thing that you can do is you could use these 3, and you could link them together, or not link them, you could exceed them together for Harpie's Pet Phantasmal Dragon. And Harpie's Pet Phantasmal is actually a really great monster because your Harpie monsters cannot be targeted by attacks or effects as long as it has XYZ material, and then at the end phase of every turn you would have to remove an Exceed monster material from it, but it can attack your opponent directly, and there's really nothing that they can do about that, which is also a really good move because you could set your opponent up with that, and there's really nothing that they can do. They can't destroy it. The only thing that they could do is probably use Nibiru or just get it off the field using like a complete field wipe, but other than that, it would be really, really difficult for them to do that. Alright. So I'm gonna go and we're gonna do this again, and that's what I like about Harpies. They may not be as like fast as say a Blackwing or Raid Raptors. They are still very, very good. Then you can take these two and you can use them as a synchro summon, because with the new Cyber Slash Harpie Lady, it actually counts towards a tuner monster if you have one Harpie on the field. And then you could also use these two, and then you could use that for a link summon for Harpie Conductor. So when Harpie Conductor's on the field, you can activate one of these effects once per turn. If a Harpie monster would be destroyed by battle or by card effect, I can destroy one spell or trap I control instead. So if you wanted to, you could have played Harpie's Hunting Ground then afterwards, and it gives them a small boost, and if they were destroyed by a card effect or destroyed by battle, you could destroy Harpie's Hunting Ground instead. And Cyber Slash is a really good card because Cyber Slash can actually bounce cards back. If you get targeted for an attack or by an effect, you can bounce back another Harpie monster you control and then bounce back one of your opponents. So if they have a monster on the field, you can bounce their monster back and yours, and it can save yourself. So that's that for that move. So you can see there's a lot of different strategies and a lot of different things that you can do with this deck, which is what I love about it. I'm going to see if I can get the infinite loop. I'm going to play a few more test hands for you guys, and I'm going to see if I can get the loop. If not, that's fine. I'm going to also just show you other stuff that you can do. There's also cards like Mecha Phantom Beast in here. There's Red Eyes Blackfire Dragon, and those are mainly for level modding with Harpie Chandler. So you can bring out Harpie's Pet Dragon, use Harpie Chandler to make itself a level 7, and then go into a rank 7 play. Alright, so gonna get this and put this back over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright. So this is gonna be our hand. Not too bad. We're gonna see what we can do with it though. So gonna use Harpie Chandler. Discard Harpie Harpist this time to special summon monster from our deck. And unfortunately, if you were to get a Harpie's Pet Dragon and modify its level, you could go into a Red Eyes, which I'm going to show you. You can modify its level, and you can go into Red Eyes Metal Flare Dragon, which means that every single time they do something, so much as breathe, any card that they play, anything they said, anything, they lose 500 points of damage. So it's a good burn card, and it's also 2800, so it's actually really, really worth it. It's strong. You could go into your Cyber Slash Harpie Lady if you didn't use Harpie's Pet Dragon, but the other thing that you can use is you can also go into Mecha Phantom Beast, and Mecha Phantom Beast would give you 2 tokens by discarding a Harpie monster. You could get 2 tokens. So what I'm going to do is use Harpie Chandler. Harpie's Pet Dragon goes in defense mode, and since you discarded Harpie's Harpist, and if you notice, I have a Harpie Oracle, and Harpie Oracle is, if you have a level 7 on the field, you can special summon this card from your hand. So we're going to special summon Harpie Oracle in defense mode. Now we've got 3 monsters on the field. We're going to take these 2, and we're going to create Mecha Phantom Beast Draco Sack. You remove from play a Exceed material, so we'll just remove from play that, and that will give you 2 tokens. And I'm going to use the sheep tokens that you guys have from the scapegoats. So now you've got 4 monsters on the field. Then from there, you could go into, let's see, you could go into a Bird of Sovereign. You can use these 2 tokens, and then you can use the Harpie Oracle. to bring out Bird of Sovereign, and then at the end phase of your turn, you could play the either Barrier Statue of the Stormwind, or you could play the Apex Avian. So, I mean, you see that's a really good field. There's a lot of power behind that. I mean, you have a 26, a 27 that has the bounce effect, and then you have the Bird of Sovereign, which protects the Apex Avian. Alright. And we're going to try for one more test hand. So I hope you guys are enjoying this. This is actually a lot of fun because there's a lot of different things that you can do with this deck. And like I said before, if you wanted to use Tri-Brigades, you could combine this with Tri-Brigade just like you can combine Lyricalist, which is a deck that I do have too. You could totally do that. I, however, don't use Tri-Brigades just because they are somewhat expensive, and I prefer to have a pure Harpie deck, or maybe just have a Lyricalist and combine it with Raid Raptors, because you can use and essentially bring out Ultimate Falcon in that deck just by using Last Strix and Skip Force. Alright, so this is going to be the last test hand. 3, 4, 5. Alright, so we're going to see what we can do with this. Obviously, you do have an Elegant Egotist, which is great. And we're going to see what we can do. So, I'm going to discard Harpie Hunting Ground, because you are not going to need that for this turn. Normal summon Harpie Chandler, and then activate that effect. You can get Harpie Perfumer. Harpie Perfumer will allow you to get an Elegant Egotist from your deck to your hand. Then you can drop both of those. Or actually, instead of getting a Harpie... Yeah, I'm going to get a Harpie Perfumer. I was going to try to get a Harpie's Pet Dragon, but I'm not going to be able to. So we're going to get two Harpie Ladies. And if you want to use Cyber Harpie Lady, or just the original Harpie Lady from Metal Raiders, you can totally do that. I just like this version better because it gives an additional 300 for wind monsters. So then, from there, you can do the same thing that you guys always do. You can use this to bring out Harpie's Pet Phantasmal Dragon, and you can use it to bring out Harpie Conductor and Cyber Slash Harpie Lady. Also, you can use Lightning Chidori, Tornado Dragon. If it's your opponent's, or if it's your turn and your opponent has stuff on the board, you can play Ice Beast Saffron, sorry. And I'm going to do something a little cool this time because I actually feel like doing it. You can play Great Fly by sending these to the graveyard. And in my last video, I meant to say that when you have a Harpie Harpist in the graveyard at the end phase of your turn, you can add a level 4 Winged Beast type monster from your deck to your hand. So that's very beneficial to you because it can continue your plays for next turn, and you can use that to bring out maybe another Harpie Chandler and then keep using the combo. So you got those two. And then if you want, you can use Cyber Slash Harpie Lady. So you've got like a Great Fly on there and a Cyber Slash Harpie Lady just for a basic move. And then you've got a Harpie's Feather Duster and a Raigeki for your opponent. Alright guys, so we're going to do one more because actually this is going quite smoothly and it's actually going. And the best card in this deck is going to be, one of the best Harpie cards in this deck is the Harpie's Featherstorm, because if you have a Harpie monster, you can not only activate it from your hand on your opponent's turn, but also it prevents your opponent from activating monster effects for that turn. So say they draw, you have it in your hand, or you can set it, they draw, you activate it, and then your opponent cannot activate any monster effects. So it really cripples them. So we're gonna draw 5. And I'm going to try one more hand. That's not the best hand. You can go into the Harpie Lady, Harpie's Hunting Ground, you can have Harpie's Feather Storm, but essentially that's not the best hand because you've got literally one monster. Shuffle again. Alright. And this is an exceptional hand. So with this you should be able to go 5 monsters and potentially get the infinite loop that I was talking about. So what you're going to first do is you're first going to play Harpie Chandler. Go ahead and activate Hysteric Sign and get your Harpie Lady from your deck. And then since you have another Elegant Egotist, you can get another Harpie Lady and just go ahead and use that. So I'm going to go and then play Elegant Egotist, then use the other Elegant Egotist to special summon both Harpie Ladies. And you do have to discard a Harpie monster from the graveyard or Harpie card from the graveyard to special summon Harpie or activate Harpie Conductor's effect. Alright, so now that we have those on the field, you can then do the discard. You can use Harpie Chandler, activate its effect. Then you can search your deck for a Harpie monster, and I'm going to choose Harpie's Pet Dragon for this move, and I'm going to show you why in a second. So we're going to use Harpie's Pet Dragon. So now you have 4 monsters on the field, and you've got a Harpie's Pet Dragon. Now, from there, you're going to use this and this, and you're going to exceed them together for that Mecha Phantom Beast Draco Sack. Then Mecha Phantom Beast Draco Sack's effect is going to activate. You're going to remove from play or send a monster to the graveyard to get 2 Mecha Phantom Beast tokens. So you see now I have a total of 5 monsters on the field. So then from there, you also still have the Perfume in your hand for next turn. You're going to go into, you're going to use, there's 2 monsters. You're going to use 3. And you're going to go into Bird of Sovereignty. Then you're going to be going into these 2. You're going to link those 2 together for Union Carrier. So then Union Carrier's effect is going to activate, and you can get a monster from your deck, and you can equip it. So we're going to equip Miss Valley Thunderbird. Miss Valley Thunderbird gets equipped, and then at the end phase of your turn, you can special summon, as you guys know, based off of Bird of Sovereignty, you can special summon something from your deck that has the number of stars equal to the adjacent number of unused card spaces. So they would have 5, and then 6, 7, 8, but you can use it for 7, and there you go. This is the infinite loop that I was talking about. So when your opponent would activate any kind of effect, either be a spell trap or monster effect, you can bounce back, put that right here, my bad. You can bounce back Thunderbird. Thunderbird goes to your hand, and then you can re-special summon it in defense position, and then you can potentially keep doing that every single time they activate an effect. Since you have an Apex Avian and a Bird of Sovereignty, you have beefy monsters. The only thing is with Union Carrier, but by then you're not even really needing Union Carrier anymore. But that is a really good effect because you can keep constantly bouncing back for consistency, and it negates their effect. Is it the best combo that I know of? No, by far it's not. There's a lot of other really good combos that you can use for this deck, but I just wanted to show you the way to get it if you have actually a good hand, because it is possible to get it with this hand. It may not be as consistent and like as good as, say, if you had a Blackwing deck, or if you had like the Raid Raptor deck, or even if you had, there's a way to even use it with a Smorg deck, but it's even less, I think, less possible. But it is able to. Alright, so that's going to be it for my video. I hope you guys really enjoyed. That was a lot of fun, and with that, see you guys next time. Later.